When Kevin Smith first joined forces with Netflix to produce Masters of the Universe Revelation, the marketing for it really did its job. A lot of people are calling it a bait and switch, but it really did look pretty good, at least for fans of Masters of the Universe, the original series. But now we're getting a follow-up to that also by Netflix, this one titled Masters of the Universe Revolution. But the question is whether it'll actually meet the same success as the last one, or did Kevin Smith burn too many bridges? From Kevin Smith, Revolution serves as the follow-up to the Netflix series Masters of the Universe Revelation. The new episodes will start streaming on January 25th, and ahead of the premiere, the trailer is providing an early sneak peek. This article does have the trailer for it right here, but if you go over to Netflix where the trailer is on their Netflix official account, you can see, I wouldn't say it's ratioed or anything like that, but there is quite a few dislikes on this trailer. Now, I'll be fair and say the trailer did look pretty good, but if you actually watch the trailer for the first one in the series, Masters of the Universe Revelation, the trailer for this one looked pretty good too, and that's what a lot of people were disappointed when they saw the final results. I mean, you can even see the like to dislike ratio was so much better on this one as opposed to this last one. And when you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score for Masters of the Universe Revelation, you can see people liked the trailer and were excited about it. Then they actually watched the show and were pretty upset about the final result of it. And we're not shy about voicing their opinions on it. Of course, then when people voice their opinions on it, because when you adopt the beloved franchise and don't really fulfill what fans were expecting from it, naturally they're going to be upset with that. And people try to make it seem like that's a really unreasonable thing. But just imagine it this way. Imagine you just like ordered some burgers from wherever place or whatever from Uber Eats. And when it comes to you, it's Taco Bell or something like that. You're going to naturally be upset because they didn't deliver what you were ordering. And you could say, no, I ordered a burger. It's like, yeah, these are burgers. We just call them burgers. We don't call them tacos. It's like, well, then I don't want that. And you'd naturally be upset about that. Well, that's really what happens when you do these bait and switches. Because when you watch the actual Masters of the Universe Revelations, the trailer for it made it seem like He-Man was a prominent character in it, and he was basically either killed off or sidelined throughout the most of the series, and it was Teela who was really the primary character in the show. And obviously a lot of people were upset with that because it was kind of a bait and switch. Now this new trailer that just came out, it does look like that He-Man or Adam is the main character in it once again, but a lot of people are skeptical of it now, to say the least, because yeah, I mean, that's why they're saying this, because they're like, yeah, we've seen this before, and when this happened in the past, Kevin Smith would try to attack people who were criticizing him. Most notably, you got Clownfish, who actually had a scoop on the original one before it came out, and we're saying like, no, He-Man's gonna be sidelined and stuff like that. And then Kevin Smith tried to go after them professionally and tried to get them banned and other things like that as a result of basically them getting ahead of the reporting and talking about it before he wanted people to talk about it. They're kind of spilling the beans on what the actual show was about. So he was upset about it. Well, now we got Neon over at Clownfish who just reported this. So yeah, it looks like they don't even want to wait this time for them to talk about it. He just blocked them entirely, which is definitely Kevin Smith trying to go on the, well, I would say it's on the defense at this point, because he really did burn a lot of bridges with the last series. And it is kind of a shame because early on in his career, he did do a lot of good stuff, but I don't know, I think he started losing his touch. I think the last good thing he really did was maybe Clerks 2 was all right. But that was still him kind of on his downturn, but he hasn't really done anything that great since then. I mean, early in his career, he was kind of a Hollywood outsider, and now he's almost a simp for the Hollywood system. So he's basically just exactly what you would expect from someone within that system who just has to, kowtow to the machine and just do exactly what they want you to do, sort of thing. And then just like them, he's also attacking fans when they criticize his work, which, yeah, people would try to point out like, well, what we're seeing with this is just a bunch of review bombing from trolls and stuff like that. It's like, well, I'm not going to say review bombing never happens whatsoever, but a lot of times what review bombing, or at least what they call it, is basically just passionate fans who normally when people don't like something, they'll just not even bother to review it. They only review it when they're particularly passionate about it. And when you really rile up the fans or really upset the fans, then yeah, they're going to make it a point to make sure they give your movie or your show a negative review. And if that's review bombing, it's like, well, then why don't we see this the other way? I mean, we do see it the other way. They just don't like to mention when people are positively review bombing it. So when you do see these negative scores like this, it really just goes to show the passion behind the franchise is basically negatively. And Kevin Smith tried to write this off as like, well, at least we got a lot of publicity and got a lot of people talking about it. It's like, well, yeah, you did for your first one, but that's really not going to play out for this next one because people are kind of wise to that. Where is it? Yeah, right here. So people are understanding this is how you're going to play the game. You're going to try to bait and switch them. And now people are not really interested in watching it. I mean, maybe it could be successful because I'm sure this is a cheaper animation style. So they can make these a lot easier and with a lot less money than if it was something of a bigger production. So maybe they can continue with this sort of thing. But I don't know. In my opinion, I think we're going to see a significantly less viewers on this following season, unless they're trying to change course and actually give something that the fans would want. But I can't imagine them doing that because that would essentially be Kevin Smith admitting defeat. And I think he has too much of an ego to actually do that.